Hello, Hannah.
Hi, Mace. How's it going?
Good. Okay. Did your experience as a teen influence how you lead and relate to those you pastor?
Yes. In two ways. One is I was very extroverted as a student, a teenager in youth group, and so I was always in the middle of everything, and also sometimes I had to learn how to use my voice appropriately, and my youth pastor worked really hard to help me do that in a very kind and patient way, and I am learning to do the same with my extroverted students without expecting too much of them, but helping lead them at a pace that doesn't feel like a lot of pressure.
Hello, Pastor Hannah.
How's it going, Preston?
What brings you joy?
Oh my gosh. Just in general?
Yeah.
All the things. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, right now my kids are really hilarious. So my kids just say the goofiest things. My job is, I think, the best job in the whole wide world. So I love getting to just watch. I like watching all the way from middle school all the way till young adulthood. People just grow. We've been here long enough to watch some of you older kids since you were in middle school, and it's just fun to see the change. That just makes me feel so full, and all of the goodness, the weather, the cool weather, just all of it. I just love. I like that my job gets me out and about, interacting with people, and just I think that's what brings me joy. Yeah.
How have you encountered God's abundance in providing what you couldn't make happen at a specific time?
Oh man, that's a big question. Yeah. So David and I got married right out of college, and then moved to California, and had $0, and so that was kind of our first experience together. But we both we've lived a life that we've watched stuff be taken from us, and our community just comes around us, every time, when we were young, early pastors, baby pastors, and I guess maybe we still kind of are, but when we were first starting out and learning how to be adults and all of that, and there was never a time where groceries didn't show up on our front step when we needed them. And we had a couple in our church in Bakersfield who bought diapers for us for the whole first year of Judah's life, even after we moved here. We left them, and they still continued to send us diapers. There's always people who are coming up around us and making things happen because God knows that we need that, when we are feeling tired and we've worked all summer for camps and Elevate and all this stuff, we know Tom's gonna be there to fill in some of the gaps, or Chad's gonna be there to teach small groups, or Chelsea's gonna be there to communicate with some of our girls. People just fill in because community has been so good to us, so.
One more question for you.
All right, one more.
This one's a doozy.
Okay.
It's long.
Okay. Let's hear it.
As a youth pastor, you have consistently invested in developing relationships and influencing teens and young adults to have passion for the Bible and Jesus. What has been the most challenging and yet most incredible surprise so far as their pastor?
So the challenging part is it feels like no one's ever listening to you. You guys are there on Wednesdays and you watch, there's just lots of interruptions and distractions, and it's kind of fun and goofy, but sometimes I'll spend a lot of time in a week prepping for either a sermon or a conversation with a student, and then I'm at the end, I'm nobody listened to me. What am I doing? But without fail, every time I feel like that, I'll have a conversation with somebody, or later on down the road where something that happened in an interaction with somebody else made a difference that I would have literally never guessed, like sitting down and having coffee with somebody, like months and months later, they'll be like, you said that thing, and I'll be like, I have no idea what I said, and they'll be like, well, it changed a lot for me, like it meant something, and not that I always have the best things to say or the right things to say or anything like that at all, but it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is the long game of relationship building and community building is really challenging, but also brings up surprises all the time that are exciting and fun and leave you feeling like, okay, like maybe something's happening here, so.
That was a really good answer.
Thanks, Preston. When 2020 happened and we were like in the process of moving here and COVID and all of the like craziness, my very best friend died, and so I had to tell so that morning I woke up to a phone call that she had passed away, and that evening we were telling our youth groupers that we were moving, and it was just the worst day ever. And we knew we were like leaving people we loved, and then obviously like my friend who we were in diapers together and had done she was my maid of honor at my wedding. She had like dealing with the loss of her, and knowing like not knowing how we were going to like move forward with that was really, really hard and really, really difficult, just all the way around. The death, the moving, we had a church who loved us, and we were moving to a place that we didn't know, and that we figured would love us, but you never know. And learning to really understand like the depth of people who wanted to love us and take care of us, and come around us both in loss in both ways, but loss through death and like moving into a new space is what kept us going. Like those were just really hard days, some sad and some just hard because moving is hard, and the way that like people here were like prepared for us to be here and were excited for us to be here and had gifts for us, and our apartment was fully stocked with food when we like drove in the next morning, and all that stuff, and then like people who continue to check on us and make sure that we were doing good. I think that joy is found in knowing that you are loved and taken care of, and that there are going to be lots of opportunities for you to do that for other people, but to like accept it and be grateful for it when it's coming your way, even though often it's like very hard and complicated seasons. So I think, and this is gonna sound like just so cheesy, but really truly like that we love you guys, and there's really truly nothing like, we have kids every week that are like, I'm gonna find something that will cause you to not love me, like joking, but there really isn't. Like there have been, a couple people in my life who have loved me through all of my mess and chaos and learning to be an adult and learning to be a pastor and a mom and a wife and all these things, who I never ever have had to guess like whether they love me. And that has just changed my like confidence in being able to have like a faith journey, but also even just like a personal like growth in myself. That's definitely because of God, but that has affected and changed everything. And so I want my students to know like that is the case. Like all the way from my 7th graders to my young adults, like we will always love you and support you, and you can mess up in all of the biggest ways, and we're still going to show up for you and love you, and we want that to like change the way that you live your life.